Hey guys, it's Luca, and today I've got another video for learning MTG. Today I'm going to talk about a topic that's kind of like near and dear to my heart. It's on the investment side of things. I'm going to talk about investing on Magic Online. So, I mean, I think like 99 times out of 100, if you're investing in Magic, you're going to invest in like paper cards. Like real physical cards you buy on eBay or TCG Player or whatever. Um, but I've actually done a lot of investing on Magic Online. I think in this video I'll talk about kind of the advantages and disadvantages of investing on Magic Online and talk about some of the tricks that I picked up. I've been doing Magic Online investing for like 6 or 7 years, and I think I've spent literally thousands of hours buying and selling cards on Magic Online. Sometimes it's been great, other times it has not been so great. So overall, I don't recommend investing in Magic Online, and I'll kind of talk about the reasons why. Um, and personally, I don't really do it very much anymore. I kind of just do it for fun. I have like a very small portfolio. Magic Online, in the past I've had like a 10,000 tickets portfolio. Right now it's probably like 300 tickets or something. I've really just taken it all off and focused on paper, but yeah, I still like to do it every once in a while for fun, and in this video I'll kind of talk about some of the tricks in case people want to do this. It is fun, and there are some advantages, and I think if you do put in the time and the work to get good at this, you can, I think, make a lot of money. I wouldn't be surprised if someone who's really good at investing on Magic Online makes, 20, 30, 40 grand a year. Anyways, let's talk about like the advantages and disadvantages. So I like to use GoatBots. I think that's like the best, definitely the best place to find prices of Magic Online cards. You can look at prices on Goldfish, but the prices are a lot less accurate, because I think they only update it like once a day or something. Also, they probably get their data from MTGO traders instead of GoatBots has the best data basically because they have the biggest bot chain, so they have like the most trades. So let's look at a card like Karn, right? So I personally, if I do trades now on Magic Online, I like to find modern cards because that's kind of like the biggest market. There's like the most amount of players and the most money that can be made basically is in modern, and I like to do momentum plays. In another video, I'll talk about like the yin and yang of investing, the fundamental analysis side of investing and the technical analysis side of investing. So this is more of like the technical analysis side, more momentum plays, seeing like trying to get in while a trend is going. And you can see here like Karn has gone down to $8 and then it goes up to 48, and these are ticks, I guess. So a tick is worth maybe 95 cents, so but it's about $1. So you can see like wild swings. Like we're looking at February 20th, about a year ago. Karn is $8, and then a month later it's $45. Like you never see that in paper, right? So let's look at what happened to Karn in paper. Spark. Alright, so in paper, Karn started off at about $10. It may have gone down to $5, then up to $9, but like you don't see those kinds of crazy price swings. So that's really, to me, the big advantage of trading on Magic Online is you can take advantage of these huge price swings. Basically, the reason why is because you have a smaller supply of cards. I would estimate there's maybe 1,000 times as many cards in paper as in online, something like that. So if 50, 100, 200 people all of a sudden need 4 cards for their deck, it's going to have a huge effect on the Magic Online price and not as much of an effect on the paper price. So that's why you see these wild swings. Similarly, if Karn gets banned and 50 people need to sell their 4 copies of Karn, it's going to have a huge swing down, and you won't have as much of a swing down in the paper market. So that's one of the advantages. Another advantage of trading on Magic Online is like you can instantly collect profits. So, and I'll show you guys some examples. I'll probably go through like some trades. But basically, like when you're buying and selling, like you get that ticket right away. If I wanted to buy Karn and sell Karn in paper, I'd have to order it online. It's gonna get shipped to me in a week. Then I need to list it. Then someone needs to buy it, and then I ship it out. And then if I'm selling on TCG Player, I might not get paid for another 2 weeks, right? So between the time when I bought the card and get my money from selling the card, it could be a whole month. Whereas if you're making an online trade, you can make profits within a few days, and you can reinvest those profits right away. So that's another advantage of Magic Online. Also, like you don't have to deal with, say, shipping costs. You don't have to deal with sales taxes. You don't have to deal with getting scammed. You don't have to deal with condition issues. So there's a lot of nice things with dealing with digital cards. So that's pretty much a decent rundown of the advantages of trading on Magic Online. Now let's talk about the disadvantages. Probably the number one disadvantage is the huge, like, not huge, but like a lack of market depth, right? So the market is really, really small, meaning if you start buying, let's say 100 copies of Karn, like you're going to affect the price yourself. Like definitely. Even if you bought 40 copies, even if you bought like 6 play sets, you might be impacting the market yourself because it's such a small market. And that means a few things. That means that you're not going to be able to, let's say you wanted to make an investment of $2,000 on Karn, you wouldn't really be able to get in at the same price that you would if you're going to make that same investment for like $200 worth of Karns. So you're kind of like eating into your own profits because you're pushing up the market as you buy more copies. This also happens on the way down. As you're selling your position, you're selling at a lower and lower price because you're pushing down the price. So in both ends of the trade, you're basically kind of screwed over. You're paying a price for the fact that the market is so shallow, or that it's such a small market, such a small number of copies of Karn, and small number of demand, small number of supply. Okay, that's like the huge disadvantage. Some other disadvantages, as you can see here, there's really big bid-ask spreads. So the difference between the buy price and the sell price here is about 10%. That's usually the best you're going to get on Magic Online. And that's pretty steep, because it basically means like if I buy a card and then it stays the same price and I need to sell it, I'm out 10%. Like in order to make 10%. So if the card stays completely the same, I lose 10%. That's really, really bad. And in addition, in order to make 10%, the card needs to go up by 20%. Because if it goes up by 20%, then I'm getting that 10% bid-ask spread cut, and I'm only making 10%. So that's another huge issue of Magic Online. But you kind of have to deal with that in paper as well, because in paper, if you're selling on TCG or you're selling on eBay, you're losing that 13% fee or whatever. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good rundown of the pros and cons of Magic Online investing. So let's talk a little bit about the mechanics. So if anyone has traded on Magic Online, you would know that it is a hot mess. So this is basically, for those who are uninitiated, this is what the trading post looks like on Magic Online. So for whatever reason, you don't have like an auction house style thing like you might have in like World of Warcraft or even Diablo 3 or whatever, where you can like search for things. People have basically you get one classified ad where you can list whatever. So this guy's got like Teferi, Disallow, Rishon Import, Time Twister, Burning of Xenia, Crater of Behemoth. So you can only list like a few of the cards you have. And let's say I want to buy a Karn, the Great Creator. And then here it's listing all the people that have it. Wait, do I? Yeah, and this is literally all the people that. But it's not a really like complete list, because there's going to be tons of people that have Karn or are looking to buy Karn, but you know, they just didn't fit it into their little classifieds ad. So that's like a huge mess. And basically what it means is like it's a highly inefficient market. It's not, there's no quick way for me to see, okay, I want to buy a car and who's got the cheapest car. I just can't do that. What you can do is you can basically familiarize yourself with what the good bot chains are. I don't know if should I even get into bot chains. So another weird thing about Magic Online is you're not dealing with like a fractional currency like the dollar, where I can buy something for $3.04. I'm trading in tickets, and tickets can only be traded in whole units. So if something's 3.04 ticks, I have to give you the whole 4 tickets, and then you basically have like a 96-cent credit for my account. So what the upshot of that is, what ends up happening is you end up trading with certain bot chains or a certain basically distributor, and you only work with that distributor because that way you can make use of your fractional credits that are left over after your trades. So basically you kind of have to figure out like what are the bot chains worth dealing with. You don't want to be stuck with a bot chain that's got your credits and then they don't have the cards you're looking for, or they're not willing to buy the cards you're trying to sell. So to make a long story short, I basically, after 7 years of, you know, scouring all the different bot chains, I've really just decided it wasn't worth my effort to deal with anything outside of the 2 biggest bot chains. So the 2 biggest bot chains are, and I put them in my friends list, they're basically the MTGO traders bots. So you see here I've got all the MTGO traders bots, card bot, and card buying bot. So these are all the same bot chain basically. So any credit you get on here is going to also show up on here, and vice versa, and any of the prices that you find on one of these bots will be exactly the same as the prices you find on the other bots. So that's one bot chain. The other one is GoatBots. You've probably heard about it. They're the biggest bot chain. They've got this website here, goatbots.com. And yeah, so I basically, you know, between the 2 of these, this is what all the trades I do are. They're through these 2 guys. Okay, so another tip too is like what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to add all of these to your friends list. Okay. So I've added them all to my friends list, and there's also the hot list bots. Maybe I'll talk about that another time. But you basically have them all here. So if I want to make a trade with GoatBots, I can see which of these are green. Green means they're like available and they're not in a trade with someone else, and I can just quickly find a GoatBots that it's available and make a trade. Okay, so let's just, for fun, let's like try to make a trade. Okay, so again, I don't really seriously do Magic Online investing anymore. I just kind of do it for fun. It's just like, you know, a small bet, a small gamble. So, and again, the way that I like to do investing on Magic Online is I like to find like momentum plays in Modern, basically. So let's see, like, so, you know, to really, I kind of just look through like Modern trending now. You know, it's not a very sophisticated method. So maybe I'll look at Urza. That sounds kind of interesting. And I'll look at the chart of Urza. Yeah, I mean, maybe this is a reversal pattern here. Like maybe we've hit a bottom, and it's on an uptrend. Who knows? Let's say, yeah. Let's say I think it is. Okay. So now I want to buy Urza. So I can see on here Urza is selling for $8.96, and then I'm gonna check the other bot chain because I only buy from the 2 bot chains. Urza, and I'll type in Urza Lord High Artificer, and this is MTGOtraders.com. Okay, they're selling it for $8.59, so it's cheaper. So I'll buy from these guys. So I'll make sure that I have my tickets tradable. Okay, and then I'll go to CardBot, open a trade, and then I'll look for Urza. Okay. And then Cardbot says, 4 times 8.59. They're going to take a total of 34 ticks. Okay, great. Submit. And I also like to keep track of all my trades, so 4 times 8.59. I'll put it in my little diary, trade diary, and I'll fill in the rest later. There's okay, 220, and that's basically it. Now, if I wanted to sell Urza, what I would do is I would reload here. I'd say, okay, they're buying for 798. I'll refresh here. They're buying it for 755. So GoBots is buying it for a better price. So then I will add Urza to my trades. Urza. Put them in my trades like that, and then I'll go find GoBots. And like a little tip too is like the letters B, C, D, F, these are buying bots, so they're automatically going to buy, so it's like a few seconds faster. So I go to one of those. Or maybe the numbers buy automatically too, I don't know. But this is what I do anyways. And they'll buy my Urzas for 32 ticks. So as you see, like it's pretty steep. I already lost 2 ticks without actually doing anything. And then I'll pull out 32 ticks, and then I would confirm the trade, but I'm not going to confirm the trade here. So that's basically it. That's kind of a guide to like how I invest on Magic Online. I don't really do it seriously because I think there's just like more opportunities, more scalability in paper. But when I first started investing in Magic 7 years ago, Magic Online was actually perfect because I didn't have a huge budget and I could make like good trades, make good profits, investing $40–50 or whatever. And I think back then it was also easier to make money on Magic Online. I think it's gotten like more competitive. Some of the trades that some of the like pattern recognition stuff that I found back then doesn't really exist anymore. But I think for someone who like really puts in the time, they could make a lot of money here. So let me quickly talk about like where, if I were to like really like put my head down and spend a few weeks like trying to find a strategy for Magic Online, what would I do? I would basically try to figure out, usually like the biggest gainers are, was this a big one? Yeah, something like this, right? So like an Auriok champion, at some point it was 3 ticks, and then it was slowly gaining more and more steam until it's up to 30 ticks. So if you could have got in here, like when you started to see the momentum, and you could look at different data. Basically, what ends up happening on Magic Online, since Magic Online is like a more constructed based valuation, the value of a card is a lot more based on how much play it sees, because basically people only use cards for constructed on Magic Online. What ends up happening is sideboard cards have like the highest ceiling, right? Because a sideboard card could theoretically be played in every white deck, like an Auriok champion. Whereas, like a good main deck card is only going to see play in that particular archetype. I mean, there are exceptions, right? Like Aethervial can fit into many different creature decks, but in general, like sideboard cards have the highest ceiling. So that if you ahead of time figure it out, like, oh yeah, Auriok Champion's like picking up steam, it could see a lot of play. You buy, I don't know, 200 copies, right? You sell at 20, you buy it at 5. That's 15 times 200, $3 grand right there. If you make 10 of those trades a year, you can make 30 grand. So, yeah, that's kind of just a rundown on Magic Online. Again, I don't really, I don't recommend trading on Magic Online, but if you really wanted to, this is kind of like a nice little crash course in how you would do so. I've spent a lot of time trading on Magic Online, and this is kind of the big point, the big takeaways of what I've learned over the course of it. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.